You got to think about it like that, because most of the time, a lot of these women, they really ain't got money like that to travel that distance. A lot of them don't. And some do, but I'm gonna say most of them I met don't. They ain't really got it like that. So if y'all plan to meet up in 6 months, it's gonna probably take her another 6 months to plan to meet you. You know what I'm saying? She got to save up. She got to make arrangements. She might have kids, or she might have responsibilities with her family. So most women I met can't just get on the plane next week and fly across the world to see a man. Most women ain't got it like that. I'm gonna say most people ain't got it like that. They ain't got it like that. The women that I met, and I know women all around the world. Most of them don't have it like that. They have to make plans. That has to be something that has to be planned in advance. So whenever a woman make plans in advance, you best believe she's serious. This ain't a game for her. I think a lot of women look at it like, shit, I'm flying across the world to meet this guy. So I ain't really, and then they got to take off from their job. That's another thing. They got to take off from their job. And most of these women probably never take off from their job unless they go on a vacation. You know what I'm saying? And another thing you have to realize, most of the women that's in these other countries, they won't even entertain a long distance relationship because they know that he ain't gonna go nowhere. Because a lot of times they know that they can't get a visa for whatever reason. Sometimes it has to do with their background. Sometimes they don't want to pay the money. So, because sometimes they got to do lab work or they got to pay for the visa. Some women be like, man, the hell with all that shit. So now she was like, I got to do lab work. I got to pay for a visa. I got to have a passport. And then I got to get the flight. Some women be like, man, hell, that shit ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? And some just don't want to pay the money. That's it. That's too much money. I ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? Some women feel like that. Even if you say, hey, I help you, some of them be like, nah, that's too much. So they won't even entertain the shit. You know what I'm saying? So what they'll do, they might hear you out in the beginning if you contact her online on one of the dating apps. But over time, once you get to a certain point and you feel like, okay, maybe I want to meet up with this chick, and y'all start talking about meeting up in person, she'll just cut you off. She'll just stop communicating with you after a while. Because she know that she's not going to be able to pull it off. She probably not going to be able to take off from her job, and she probably not going to be able to come up with the money. And a lot of times she probably feel like she's not going to be able to, might not be able to pass the physical and might not be able to get a visa. Yeah, that's what it really comes down. That's why a lot of times a lot of women they'll say, hey, why don't you come over here where I'm at? I'm like, what? No, not the first time. No, the first time we meet, we got to be on mutual ground. We got to go somewhere where it's like No, somewhere that probably is like a vacation spot or something like that. You know what I'm saying?